This is going to be a very brief video, not as long as yesterday's video, but it's about the thing with AI filmmaking that scares me the most. So, yesterday I did a really long live show. It's about 45 minutes long where I watched Luke Forsyth's video. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. And he was talking about AI and filmmaking and how the conversation isn't really the right kind of conversation that it should be. I talk a lot about what scares me, what doesn't scare me in that video, and I mentioned this in that video, but I wanted to do a separate video on it so that you could really understand the thing that I think is the scariest thing coming out of AI filmmaking right now. The scariest use case is not, what are some of the things that it's not? The scariest use case is not an independent film person going out and using prompts to create their own AI film. That's not the scariest thing. Another thing that's not the scariest thing is is if Disney Plus says, "Hey, do you want to?" Because they made a deal with OpenAI. Do you want to cast different actors in this particular role? That's not the scariest thing. That will for sure become a thing, I think, in some way, shape, or form. I don't like it. Let me just say that off the bat. I don't like it, but it's not the scariest thing. The scariest thing to me as it relates to AI. And the way to think about this, in my opinion, is think of the use case first. Is there a use case where someone might want to use AI in this way? And could they develop a use case around it that would produce something sort of terrifying? And this is the thing that I think is the most terrifying. A studio going back into its catalog of works, particularly the catalog of works that's really strong, right? Go back and take like Casablanca, or go back and take, I talked about The Third Man yesterday because I rewatched that. Go back and take something that is really awesome and then or even take Shakespearean scripts, right? There's no more copyright to my understanding. I mean, a bunch of people have used Shakespearean scripts to produce movies. And then, so it's not like you're saying, I'm going to, from scratch, have AI write me something. I don't think Michael Eisner said, I don't think that AI will ever make an Oscar-nominated movie. I agree and I disagree. On the one side, I don't think AI will ever be able to write an Oscar-nominated film. The use case there, I don't think is very good. Can I just take and replace a screenwriter with an AI? Maybe for some things, but for most things, no. Like, you're not going to be able to do that. Not for the Oscar-nominated stuff, for sure. I'm not scared about that use case. The use case that I'm scared about is the use case wherein we take an existing thing, we ask AI to then utilize that thing. So you're not asking it to become a screenwriter. You're asking it to take a Shakespearean play and turn it into a new thing with special effects. That's where I think it's the most scary, is the regurgitation and reusing of existing content, not creating generated brand new content, but reusing old content. Take The Third Man, but I want to cast Brad Pitt in it. I want Margot Robbie to be in it, and I want whoever. That's what scares me. Now, I think that the guilds will do a really good job of protecting a lot of that stuff. But again, the guilds are more in favor of saying, or at this point so far, the guilds are more in favor of saying, we're going to utilize the existing laws and the existing structure of the laws to benefit our members. The problem with that is that I think at some point in time, the number of people it benefits keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Nobody's going to use, I'm not an actor, but no one's going to use my likeness to be in The Third Man, right? They're going to use the most famous people's likenesses to be in the Third Man. So there you go. That's the use case that I think is the scariest, and I think that we'll need to have guild protection over those kinds of things. And I think, to be honest with you, one of the things I'm thinking about is, does copyright law itself need to be changed? Because the existing copyright law, to me, having this time horizon where all of a sudden it becomes back in the public domain, man, I don't know. That seems like a scary proposition for AI agents to take a lot of that stuff and then reuse it however it wants to. So that's what I think is the scariest use of AI. I'm very curious as to what you think is maybe the scariest use of AI. Leave me a comment down below. In the meantime, I don't want to be negative about this. I want to give you a positive thing. You can only do what you can do right now, right? We can both worry about AI as much as we want to, but it doesn't help us in any way, shape, or form. So what are the things? So what I'm trying to concentrate on, I'm in the middle of pre-production on a short film right now that we're trying to raise funds for. And I'm thinking, well, what's the next thing that I can do? I want to create another no vacancy. I want to create another disclosure. I want to create more things. So what's the next thing I can do to create that thing? I'm trying to focus there as opposed to just becoming overwhelmed with worry about a thing that isn't even applicable yet. So there you go. That's today's live show. Thanks for joining me. If you have any questions or if you have any scary uses of AI that you've seen, leave them in the comments down below. And thanks again for watching. Bye.